Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, everyone. And welcome to our class today of Traveler for Level 4 on page 60. Page 60. Today we have a reading lesson which is about twin minds. Twin minds think alike. Read the text quickly and answer the questions below. But before this, we have a few questions. What is telepathy? Telepathy. Telepathy is when you communicate with someone by minds or through your minds, through your thoughts, feelings. Have you heard or read about people who can communicate with someone else by using their mind? Have you been told by someone that they have connected by minds or through their thoughts or feelings by someone? Have you heard that or not? Well, today we will read about twin minds. Telepathy is the ability to communicate with someone else by using your mind. So you connect with him, you communicate with him through minds and thoughts. The communication could include anything from transferring thoughts, passing thoughts, feelings or other kinds of information or other information, anything you want to tell. There are three groups that are thought to have telepathic abilities. So we have telepathy, and that is a noun, but telepathic is the adjective. So telepathic abilities, we have three groups that might have some of the telepathy. First group, some animals and their owners. Animals or pets and their owners, the people who have them. Two, a mother and her newborn baby. A mother and her newborn baby. A newborn, which means that the baby who have just been born, that his age is a few hours maybe or a few days. And identical twins. Twins are the two people who was born at the same time or at the same moment. And identical means that they look the same. They look the same. You cannot differentiate between them. Of these three groups, twins have the strongest telepathic. The twins have the strongest. They have the most strong telepathic connection. Scientists, people who study science, believe that this is true. Scientists say this is true. They have connection because identical twins share the same brain waves. Because identical twins share the waves of thoughts, which allows both of them, that enables all of them to experience and feel things at the same time. So they can feel everything at the same moment, even when they are not in the same place. Even when they are not in the same place, even if someone is in another room or another house or another street. Many studies have been done regarding the phenomena. Many researches have been done regarding the phenomena, related to the phenomena. Phenomena is the nature thing that happen and we don't, something happened in the nature, but we don't get or we don't understand. Regarding the phenomena of the twin psychic connection. Psychic connection. But a 2003 study, there was a study in 2003 that took place in London TV studio. That study was in London TV studio, puts to rest many doubts. That study ends any doubt, anything that you are hesitated about. Is that true or false? So these are doubts. So this study ends every doubt people may have of the existence of twin telepathy. So this ends it. What happened? Let's see. 8-year-old Damon and Richard Pauls. So these are two twins, Damien Pauls and Richard Pauls. They sat in a separate soundproof rooms. They were sitting in a different room. Each room is a soundproof. Sound does not go to the other room. This is a soundproof. In the studio, Richard was told, so Richard is in a room, Damien is in another room. They told Richard to roll up his sleeves, and put his arm into a pocket, and put his arm in a pocket of ice. So they put ice, and they told him to roll up his sleeves and put them in this pocket. He gasped from the shock of the cold. He gasped. He said, when he felt the ice, he said, so this is gasped. Meanwhile, when he gasped, Damien, who was in his room and unaware of what was happening, Damien, his twin, is in the other room, and he doesn't know anything about this, also gasped. He also did this. The same thing happened to both of them at the same time. Damien was attached to a polygraphic machine. So Damien was attached to telegraphic, Damien was attached to polygraphic. Polygraphic machine is a machine that feels that that monitor your breath, stomach muscles, and pulse. Pulse is the beat of your heart. Your heartbeat, this is pulse. So at the same time, Richard was putting his hand in the ice. Damien was attached to the polygraphic machine that monitored his breath, his breathing, stomach muscles, pulse, and the amount of sweat. The amount of sweat. Sweat is the liquid that is produced from your skin while you are nervous or feeling hot in a room. This is a sweat. On the palms of his hands, that sweat, they monitor the sweat on the palms of his hands. Professional polygrapher Jeremy Barrett was recording the results and analyzing them. So there was a man, his name is Jeremy. He was monitoring and watching the polygraphic machine. Neither Damien or Barrett nor Barrett knew what was going on the other room. Even the polygraphic expert, Jeremy, doesn't know even what was happening in Richard's room during the experiment, during that time. Okay? In the next experiment, Richard was asked. The first experiment was putting Richard's hand in the ice. But now we have another experiment. Richard was asked to open a card box placed in front of him. So there was a box in front of Richard. They said, open that card box. Instead of something pleasant like chocolate in the box, a plastic snake jumped out of him. Jumped out at him. So that box, he thought that there is a chocolate or something nice in that, but it was the opposite. There was a snake, a plastic snake, that when he opened the box, the snake jumped at him, frightening him, so he felt afraid. But it said that at that exact moment, at that time, at that specific time, Damien showed signs of distress through his heart rate and pulse line. At that same time, Damien felt distressed, so his heartbeat rose and everything was unusual. There are many other stories of instances like this. We have different stories talking about telepathic connection. So there are many other stories of instance like between twins. Two young girls. Now we have other story about two young girls. One at friend's house and one at home. So they are in different places. The young girl that was at home burnt her hand. So the girl burnt his hand. So she maybe she caught something that is very hot, and that was the reason that she burnt her hand. At the same moment, the other girl developed the same kind of blister at the exact same spot on her hands as her sister. So her sister, there was some bruises and different, that it's like something burnt his hand at the same time, while her sister burnt her hand. Another example, a man who collapsed in a chair, clutching his chest in pain at the exact moment. So a man fell off the chair and he was doing this, feeling distress or clutching his chest in pain. At the exact moment, his twin brother had an accident more than 30 miles away. His brother, his twin, had an accident about 30 miles away, which is about 55 kilos or 55 kilometers. There may never be definitive proof that all identical twins have telepathic powers. There is no final proof that this is okay, this is every twin have the same power or have the same telepathic connection. Not everyone. But there is enough evidence to suggest that this kind of psychic connection is possible. There is no proof that every twin have the same connection, but they have possible to have some of them have these connections. Now, who did the writer write the text for? Who? He wrote this text. Who's for? Is it for professionals in the field of psychology? Or twin brothers and sisters to read this? Or the general public? Or people with telepathic abilities? Who do you think he wrote it to? It is for the general public. He wrote this for them, to read them, to understand the twins and how they get the telepathic connection. And now we can see that we have twins here. This is how the twins look like. Sometimes you cannot differentiate between them. let's see the exercise. Read the text again by your own. Read the text and answer the following questions. Here, we choose A, B, or C, or D. So in each question, we choose only one. 1. According to the writer, telepathy, what is it? Is it the ability to use your mind? Or has to do with how people feel in stressful situations? How people do in any situation that get angry or afraid? Or a form of communication of thoughts and feeling? Or is it the strongest psychic connection between twins? What do you think? The answer is, it is a form of communication of thoughts and feelings. 2. Why do scientists, why do the people of science believe that twins have the strongest telepathic connection? Why do they feel that the twins have that strongest connection? Why it's not any other person or any other brothers or sisters? Either is it because they have the same experiences, they have the same thing happening to them, or because they are usually in the same place, they are in the same room always, or because their brains control their feelings, their brains control their feelings, how do they feel? Or is it because their brains work in a similar way? Because their brains work in a similar way, the same thing happening to their brains. 3. What happened when Richard opened the cardboard box? When Richard opened the box, something happened to him. He was pleased, he was happy, or he was disappointed, he didn't feel okay, or he was scared, or he remained calm. What do you think? What happened? Remember what happened to him when he opened the box. Something jumped at him, which is a snake, and that made him what? Scared. That made him scared. 4. Damien and Richard, do they had the similar reactions, or knew what each other was doing? So everyone knows what his other twin is doing, or were attached to polygraphic machines? Only one of them, not both of them. Or didn't believe they were telepathic. What do you think? If we can go back to the text, we can press here. So that says, regard Damien, who was in his room and unaware, so we can say that they don't know what they are doing. They don't know what the other twin is doing. So they are unaware of what is happening to his brother, also gasped at the same time. Barrett said that exact moment Damien showed signs of distress through his heart and rate pulse. So the answer is, what do you think? What do you think the answer is? It is had similar reactions. 5. Why does the writer mention the twin sisters and the twin brothers in the last paragraph? Why did the writer do this? First, is it to prove that all identical twin have telepathic proofs, or to show that twin can feel each other's pains, or to show that both male and female twins are telepathic, or to scientifically explain telepathy between twins. It is what? To show that twins can feel each other's pain for each one. Now, let's match the words that we have. Here we have 6 words, and we have also here from A to H, and we need to match them. Regarding, I say something regarding something else, about something else. Unaware, something you don't know about. Attached, monitored, clutching, and definitive. And the answers here: checked, connected, worried, concerning, including, not informed, and holding tightly. And the last one is final. What do you think? Regarding is, the answer is D, which is concerning or about something. Unaware, what do you think? Unaware. It is F, not informed. 3, attached, which is B, connected. 4, monitored, which is A, checked. 5, clutching, which is holding tightly. And the last one, definitive, which is H, final. So definitive means final thing. So, would you like to have telepathic abilities? Would you like that? Would you like to have telepathic connection, sending thoughts or passing thought to someone else, a brother or a friend? Do you think that the human mind has powers that are not fully used? Do you think that our minds have abilities that we don't know how to use them? Think about them and try to answer them. Thank you so much for joining us today of Traveler 4. And remember that a practice makes perfect. Thank you so much.